Well, now I've just been watching the Northern Lights out there for a little bit. Not sure if they're still showing or not. Maybe a little bit. I have to tell them all my lights on. Very cool display. I'd like to sit there and watch it a bit longer, but it's quite cold and I've still got this slope to push and groom. And it's getting quite late. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. Which doesn't sound late, but another 2 hours it'll be 12-hour shift, so it's long enough, I think. Been doing some snowmaking, so that's what you do in March. Yeah, we've had a week of really warm weather, maybe even more, and we lost a lot of snow. It was warm weather and windy, just like a carbon copy of Australia all over again. So we've now got a window where it's cold for about a week again, so we're going to try and make the most of it, get a bit of snowmaking done. Very late in the season to be making snow, but if we don't and we get another warm week, then that'll hurt us quite a lot. Awkwardly off camber slope, so everything ends up here on the skier's right. That's not always practical to winch it. Sometimes we run out of time, sometimes it's just not the right conditions. Pretty cold now, it's -9, no wonder I'm still a little sniffly standing out there. It's -9. No wind, thankfully, so perfect for making some more snow and doing a bit of pushing so that it'll hopefully set up. Well, not perfect for pushing actually, it's actually pretty cold for pushing, but better cold than warm at the moment. Downside of winching this is because there's so many little breakovers. If you're doing consecutive passes, you end up with a lot of cable wash. And I believe, I haven't winched it that many times, but I believe the only way to get rid of it is to winch each section one by one. Because if you do loops or just groom it normally, you will end up leaving cable wash on all the breakovers, and you can't really work it out because of the way that everything ties together. So like it's not even a very steep slope, it's just because it's so off camber that that it sort of skis the way it skis. Here's really bad because it's maybe 7 or 8 degrees crossfall, but it's enough. And the anchor is not the best place, but it's also in the most logical place, if that makes sense. And needs to be on the skier's right there up behind the trees to get a straight line down to where I've just come from. Yeah, like you want it more over there, because where the anchor is sort of off to the right as we're looking at it, it's still a bit of a pitch there, and it's quite hard to get snow up towards where the lances are. I've just been cross pushing that earlier. I try to push it early, because if you push it at the end, it turns all sugary and you can't climb out, and it comes out really badly. You can sometimes turn around and do up-downs on it. The problem is when you start doing that with the snow that I'm working with now, that it tends to try and slide down to that side, and you don't want to work it from the high side down to the low side when you've just been pushing the snow up to the high side. It's a bit counterintuitive. So it's slower doing backups, obviously. But still, slower, but you still get the snow where you need it, and don't bring it back down with you and defeat the purpose of pushing it there in the first place. But also something else it does by reversing over the slope, you map it with the GPS so you can see where the highs and lows are, so you can more quickly determine where you need to put snow. That's my excuse anyway. But this isn't something we winch most nights. We actually probably winch it once a fortnight maybe. Again, if we've got time or the conditions sort of allow it. You can free cat it if it's solid enough, but free catting it on that angle does also end up in the snow coming down to this side and staying there, because you just can't really push it up very easily when you're free catting. Tell you what, the snow's pretty hard though. Might push a bit more here looking at that. It's really yellow there, which means it's 300 mils or less, and it's blue here, which means it's closer to a metre. I've got that pile there to use too from the snow gun. It's not much. Snow gun, it's from the lance. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Good feeling that this is getting solid, because last week we didn't really even have a base. It was getting pretty dire. Funny, Cam's gone, he went home to come back in this morning to knock over the snowmaking piles, because we're going to have the lances and guns all around the mountain going all night. So it's just to get him in the morning to do a whip round and flatten them so they're not so abrupt for people to ski over today. I'd say I'll probably still be here by the time he arrives back again. He's a hard worker, that boy. Doesn't sleep a lot. He's got a, not newborn, like a year-old child. So he's up early every day no matter what. It must be a tough life as a night shift worker. But he copes with it well. He copes with it better than I cope with everything, with plenty of sleep. really hard. So if I do it with the tiller down, it's going to come out crap, and it's going to be hard to climb. So there's a chance that I might spin and make a mess. I'm not exhausted yet, so I have the time to invest in spending a bit of time on this.
It comes out chunky like that pile there. You push it once, it'll be really chunky, you groom it, and then you end up with these holes all through it. So the more you run over it, the more powdery it becomes, and then it'll knit together a bit nicer. The more air voids you have in the snow, the worse it's going to come out, and the shorter it's going to last, because the air voids are what heats up first when your temperatures rise. Little heater pockets in the snow that will heat up naturally and start melting the snow from the inside out.